Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hi, I know I'm back. I am slowly easing in back from vacation from last week and, still just a little on the tired outside. So I'm taking today to just kind of do things that feel really good. And right now, one of those things that I wanted to do is why I'm coming on here at live today. So, whether you're here live or come in a few minutes, say hello, hello, hello. And if you're catching this on the replay, just go ahead and hit replay because what it'll do is it'll bring it back up to the group so that everyone can see this. I know I'm playing with the Facebook algorithm. And because I haven't posted in a week, it's going to be a little bit slow gaining that back up. But sometimes it's just more important to go into shutdown mode, rest and recover, and restore, refresh, renew than it is to maintain. We can always, with that new energy, get the algorithm going again. And it's not really the algorithm, it's just making sure that folks are seeing this because I know that this is something that my people, I myself have dealt with, and you and Shamrocks actually have this in common. So today, gonna dive in. I was starting my day, doing my morning ritual, and I was feeling a little tuckered out still. I'm like, gosh, like I just came back from vacation. I took it easy yesterday, just did, a couple of things here and there. And I'm still, really just coming back. So I was like, okay, I recognize this for what it is, and I'm just not ready yet, And even though I was on vacation last week, and that's why I'm coming in because, our body needs what it needs. And we think that it goes according to dates on a calendar or a length of time or a weekend or a week or a month or whatever. But honestly, we don't know what our body needs. And it doesn't really matter what the calendar is saying. Okay. So now I know, like I've learned this over the course of taking a vacation. First of all, learning how to take a vacation. I could do a whole program on just learning how to take a vacation. Or it might not be learning, it might be actually taking the vacation, right? And like, how can I set myself up to really help and support myself in taking that time for me? Time and space is, taking that time and space is something that's really important. And it's really easy to say, and it's super hard to do. And and I know this is where the permission piece comes in too, right? Like, or maybe after I've worked hard enough or done all the things, then I can take the time. And it's actually not bad at all. So, anyhow, today I recognized the signs from my body. I recognized how I was feeling. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do some things that really help me to recharge. So I decided, so for those of you that join me for What's in the Cards Wednesdays, usually you see my shamrocks in the picture. I have purple shamrocks and I have green shamrocks. Usually what's in the picture is the purple shamrocks. And they've been growing out of control. Like they have just been growing. And I knew when I was on vacation, like one of the things I wanted to do was put them into a new pot. But, you know, there was just so much happening and the weather was so nice. I just never really had a second to do it. And when I did, I was like, oh, I'd much rather sit. So I was like, let's go ahead, Lori, transplant those shamrocks because they were slowly dwindling away, right? Like that's one thing with shamrocks. Always in the front. Oh, this goes so well with this. Always what's in the front looks good, right? It looks like, oh, the plant is thriving, the plant is thriving, it's fine, it's fine. But when you start to go behind the scenes of the plant, when you start to go behind the front and you look, you get that new perspective, it actually starts to die off from the back. And the front looks totally fine, right? So, how can we tie this back in with burnout or not being fully rested and restored? Maybe we didn't sleep well a few days, right? Maybe it was the kids, maybe it was stress, maybe it was, lack of money or stress money, worries, the whole thing. But everything on the front looks fine to everyone else. But on the inside, you know what's happening. You know how you're feeling. And, because we're resilient creatures, we can keep going and keep going and push it down and push it down. And everything from the front, just like in the Shamrocks, looks fine, right? Everything in the front looks fine. But when I go to turn the plant around, I'm like, holy shit, half the plant like was dwindling away. And I was like, okay, this can't wait another moment. Which is very much why I'm coming in here live today. Like, you cannot wait another moment to take that time to rest and recharge, even if you've just come back from vacation. Sometimes I feel like I need more of a break after I get back from vacation. Like, it's just not enough. I told my husband, like, we're starting to take 2 weeks off at vacation time now. But anyway, that's another life. So anyway, so when I started looking at the Shamrocks, and everything looked fine from the outside. So can you relate to this? Like, maybe on the outside you're looking fine. Maybe you're able to hide it. Maybe it's just like, oh, just look over here, just look over here, and don't look behind. Look at the man behind the curtain, right? Um, but when you turn the plan around and get that new perspective, you can see that it's slowly dwindling all the back. It's no longer a round plant. It's only growing out the front, the whole back off. It's like it sacrifices itself, right? So that the front end can live and thrive as long as humanly possible. And then eventually the front end of the plant will die as well for the Shamrocks. Another thing that Shamrocks do is they close their leaves at night. And I'm going to show you what this looks like in a second. It's so cool. So I'll have to see if I can dig up a What's in the Cards Wednesday plant picture. But when, like, in the morning, I have it right by a window, the plant. And so in the morning, as soon as the sun, it's like the leaves open and they open up into, like, it looks like it's like a 4-leaf clover, but it's not. It's like, it looks really cool. I'll have to dig up the picture or search What's in the Cards Wednesday, and you'll see, like, in the card post. So when you select your cards, you're going to see how open they are, because I'm going to show you what happened here in a moment. Okay. And then at night, they close their leaves. It's not even completely dark yet, but they close their leaves and they look like a diamond. It's so cool. It's like, I just love nature. So, but because it's a tender plant, just like you're tender, just like you are sensitive to the environment, to your surroundings, to what's happening, to what you're feeling, to what you're noticing. You are a tender, sensitive human being. And when this happens, it's like we like the shamrock plant, we need to close our leaves. Okay, we need to close our leaves. We need to go inward. We need to rest. We just, even like, my husband will laugh at me, or he doesn't laugh at me, but with me, I just stare off into space sometimes for hours. I don't even have the capacity sometimes to read, right? Like, sometimes, like, I have the capacity, but I just choose not to. I just want to sit and just be and just see and just smell and just be in those moments, really, like, feeling what's there, right? So sometimes I don't even, like, read a book, sometimes I'm just sitting there just receiving, right? Okay, so getting back to my plant, it was time to transplant my shamrocks. Okay. So, and I should have realized this because they're so tender and sensitive. So when I went to go take out of the plant out of its, beginning pot that it was purchased from the store in, is when I started to see all the back end of the leaves dying off. And I'm like, oh my God. But the good part is I had 3 shamrock plants and I was able to fit them all inside this planter. Okay. So, but I had to, like, remove some of the dirt, not all of it, because I want to put in their like native dirt that they were into the new dirt, so they know their surroundings, right? And because it's like a trauma when we take them from the dirt that they're in and just put them in a brand new one, and they're like, what the hell? What do I do? Right? So we want to always just bring a little bit of that with them when we put them into the new pot. Okay. So now it's the middle of the day here, and while it's rainy, you're going to see in a second here how the shamrocks have all completely closed up. Okay, see how whoops, my camera does that. See how, like, they look like a mushroom now, right? They look like a mushroom because like there's like where you see the yellow, that's like the front. I'm trying to back it up, trying to go over here. That's like the center of the leaf, but see how the leaves have come down and it looks like an umbrella now, right? And it's on all of them. Like this is what they look like at night when they're sleeping, when they're resting, and when they're restoring, right? Normally, right now, they'd be completely open. I put them into my beautiful, it's a seashell. Can you see it? Yeah, you can kind of see it. A seashell flower pot. Kind of like a ship. But anyway, and this is where I was showing you that in the back, see the red one? See how all the leaves are forward? Like you can see that the leaves are there in the front, but it's not there in the back. That's actually where everything was fine. Everything is good except the leaves are closed. But when I spin it, look, right? Like that's where not getting enough sleep, right? That's where that's what burnout looks like. Everything's fine, but actually it's sucking really bad because I'm tired, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put that down. But the thing here is this plant, this beautiful plant, and I'm gonna show you too. There's one right here. This is what, oh, come on. This is what I was seeing in the back of the plant. So this at one time was a full shamrock, but now you can see it just completely shriveled up, and that's at the back of the plant, right? So that all fell away, which made space to have more shamrocks fit in the pot. But, you know, I lost about half of two plants. Anyhow, that's all good. But what I was noticing is when the plant was closing its leaves, it's because it suffered a shock. It's been taken from its normal surroundings, which were getting kind of rough. You know, like it was getting kind of rough there. Like they needed new dirt. They you know, all the things. So how this comes back to burnout or just being tired or exhausted is the shamrock immediately did what it needed to do. Like when I took them out of the pot, the leaves were completely open. By the time, like within a minute, whoosh, all those leaves closed because it needs time to find like where are my roots, where am I going, what's happened, right? Like, and this can show up in the growth cycle. Like for those of you that you know, are familiar with the growth cycle. I know not everyone here is. Okay, I gotta switch that. So when you are, you know, learning something new or, you know, you get an idea and you're super excited, right? Like your leaves, like the plant leaves would be open. Like you are here for it. You're like, let me receive. What do I do? Let me go do all the things, right? And then after you start, like this confusion starts to show up. Like, wait, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or wait, what's happening? Like, what do I do now? Like, where do I go from here? Right. And then it's going to go into frustration because you're going to be sick and tired of like, what do I do? Right. Like, what, like, how come this seemed like such a good idea 10 days ago? And now it's like, I'm frustrated and I can't figure this out. And then boom, like you have this moment where you just surrender, or in the plant's case, close your leaves and you just rest, restore. You just give your body what it needs. And then boom, the breakthrough happens. And then you go right back into the excitement again, right? And then back into the confusion, the frustration, the surrender, breakthrough, and into the excitement again. So it's as we are going through these cycles in our lives, in our businesses, in our work, in, you know, whatever is happening, as you're going through that, it's important to close your leaves. It's important to, even if you're just back from vacation, it's important to just shut down, go inward, rest, give yourself that time, right? Because that's exactly where this whole Facebook Live came from. And an email that's going to be coming out on, I believe, Thursday, either Thursday or Saturday. So if you're not on my email list, go to the comments below. I'll drop my, I don't know, let's see. I'll drop a couple of freebies for you that you can sign up for, and then you'll be added to my email list. So, because we're going to be talking a lot about this, because something I've learned about, like, you know, for those of you that know, like, I help coaches leverage manifestation so they can attract heck yes, stronger heck yes clients and the money to match. But I'm also realizing that something else I do, which is almost like this permission piece, is I help coaches unhustle, right? Like we need to unhustle. We need to slow down, close our leaves so that, and one of the, we can draw in, we can leverage manifestation then. Manifestation can seem like it's too easy, and it can seem like it's like a superfluous thing that we don't really need. And it can seem like, oh, that's like a nice to have, but it's not a must have for my business. And it actually is a must have because you need to close your leaves, rest, unhustle. Because hustling, while it may work in the short run, you will burn out. I've done it twice. Actually, I know I've done it more than that, but we're going to count the two main times. I know I could probably go 3 to 5, but we're going to do this. But the main ones were the 2 times where I significantly had to pivot. And one of them was manifestation because, anyway, long story. But when you're bringing in the manifestation piece, it actually allows you to unhustle. It allows you to be unbusy. And here's the thing, you don't have to have a packed schedule to be burned out. You can have 0 clients and be burned out. You can have 2 clients and be burned out. You can have 27 clients and be burned out, right? That does not matter. What matters is the unhustling. Like it's the unhustling, because you could be hustling for clients, you could be hustling to keep up with the clients you have, you can be all of it, like you can just be hustling, but you are closing yourself off to everything else that is trying to come to you if and when you unhustle. And manifestation allows you to unhustle. Manifestation allows you to co-create. Manifestation allows you to invite in all of the forces and energies and situations and people and places and circumstances that are here to help you. It's just when you're hustling, it's like tunnel vision. You cannot see on the peripheral. You cannot see any other perspectives because you're hustling. Because the minute you slow down, it all slows down. But in manifesting, when you slow down, it all speeds up. That's why manifestation is a must-have in your business. It's a must-have. Because when you slow down, you actually speed up. And when you bring in the manifestation piece, it's like you start to see and you start to receive, which that's a whole other life, because I did something like that this morning. How many of you just make just enough space to just receive a little bit and are like, oh, I don't have time to, like, maybe for instance, it's like I have a rooting jar. This is a good example. I have a rooting jar. It has 3 places where I can put water and then root my plants. I've got 2 pieces of shamrock rooting in there now. And some mint. I lost some mint. But anyway, so it's all rooting. But like I was noticing when I was cleaning all 3 of the jars that normally, like a lot of times, I would only clean the 1 jar that I needed. Okay. And it didn't seem important because I was like, oh, the next time I need that one, I'll clean that one. Versus cleaning them all at the same time so that they were ready to receive at the same time, right? Like, so when there was those 2 pieces of shamrocks, boom, boom, they were already cleaned, the jars, they were already filled because I had done it for the mint. But the point is the jars were there ready to receive, and then boom, boom, and came this, what needed and what wanted to fill them. So bringing this back of, because I slowed down, I was able to receive more. And that, and it's again, it's easy to say, hard to do. And this is the other thing that we talk about when we work together. So slowing down, unhustling, learning the laws of manifestation, learning the laws of receiving, hearing, noticing, because they're there. All the things that are waiting for you to just like take off the tunnel vision and just like look on the peripheral, they're there. and it's gonna come in the craziest ways, and you're gonna if you're anything like me, you're gonna be like, what the hell? What is wrong with me? Why did I not just turn my head to the left and to the right and just to see these other things that were trying to come through? So, all right. Hey, somebody's here. If you want to say hi, say hi. If not, be sure to go back all the way to the beginning of this. This was a really huge eye opener, and it has to do with my Shamrocks that are completely closed right now, um, and why, what happened, and what you have in common with that, and how the Shamrocks are showing you it's actually best to just close your leaves, shut it down, and just give yourself what you need in order to be able to, do that inner work, to do the behind the scenes, like what I was talking about with the Shamrocks before, because everything looked fine in the front. But the minute I looked behind the front Shamrocks is when you could see that they were just slowly dying one by one. And very often with burnout, everything looks fine from the front, but it's not. And so you say, okay, but how do I slow down when I have bills and I have all these things and I need to make money and I need to find clients and I need to sign clients and I need to like la 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 la, or I need more customers, like whatever it is. Like how the heck could I possibly slow down? I know. That's why enter manifestation. It allows you to slow down and receive support. It allows you to be able to take the time off and the breaks. It allows you to be able to just unhustle, slow down, and look and see what's trying to find you. You've already done enough. And that's why you get to, like, you've already done enough. You've already done it. You've already done enough. It's just time now to receive. And you need to stop tunnel vision and just go, go, go so that you can receive. It's like the universe is trying to throw things at you, but they're landing behind you because you're going forward too fast, right? And you can do it on your own. You totally can. You totally can. It'll just lead to burnout. It's just not sustainable. Everybody has to stop. Like I said, I've done it twice. You come to a crashing halt, and then you might not work for 3-4 months because you're just like, I'm so freaking tired. I don't even have the motivation. So another sign to look for, I'll do a little bonus here, but check out for the email that's coming. If you're not on my list, I'm going to drop 2 things below to get on my list. Couple of signs are of like, oh, and like this is the worst time to make any big decisions. So if you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling exhausted, like you have ideas, but you don't even have the oomph or gumption to get up and do them. If you even have plants that need to be transplanted, you're like, I'll do that tomorrow. Like you just know when you're like, why am I feeling like this, right? Like what's actually happening? This is like the worst time to make decisions. Okay, so if you're noticing, you might even be thinking, I made a mistake. Maybe you made a shift in your business, and then like this tiredness is showing up, and you might be like, oh my gosh, I need to go back. I don't know what this is. This is actually like horrible time to be making any decisions. It's actually better to be like the shamrock, close your leaves, shut it down, do what you need to be able to shut it down, give yourself some space and some time, go put your hands in some dirt. Go put your feet in the grass, go grab a hold of a tree, go for a walk, get in a pool, get in a hot tub, get in the bathtub, get in the shower, anything to just bring your body so that it's like it's closing its leaves and just be. Because I know myself, I have almost left positions, work, places of employment, my own business, right? Because I've been in this stage of burnout before and almost burned it completely down, all because I just didn't know to close my leaves until I finally learned to close my leaves, which is also why I teach manifestation now. So you can close your leaves with full permission. And because here's the other thing that can happen, God, this is really turning into a long life. You can be resting, right? You could be taking that break, but your mind is going. That's not a break. So that's not a break. That's not even resting. So if you're taking days like that or a weekend or a week or whatever, but your mind is like worrying, that is not rest. That's just physical rest. But you need spiritual rest. You need mental rest. You need physical rest. You need emotional rest. You need all of it. And that is when you are, truly fully resting. I know it takes time to get there. But that is fully, truly resting. And then from that full place, you get to follow that alignment and make those decisions. Because when you feel like shit, when you feel exhausted, you're going to make decisions that align with feeling exhausted and feeling like shit. What you need to do is align with feeling good, feeling rested, feeling like, okay, this is me, this is my true me. Now, what's in alignment with me? Now, what feels good from this place? From a place of fullness, not depletion. From a place of wholeness, not everything looks good on the front, but the whole back end is dying, right? Okay, that is my TED Talk for today. Let me know if this was helpful. Again, I will drop it below. You're not going to want to miss this email because I'm finally putting, not finally, but I'm like putting pieces together with the burnout, with the exhaustion, and you know, and you can think that it's from booked out solid practices. Yes, you can be booked out with clients, customers, orders, all the things, or you can have zero and still be burned out because you're hustling to get them and stressed out. I think that's even sometimes like the worst kind of burnout because you're like, I can't rest. I need to keep hustling. And then when I'm have my clients and I can stop hustling, but it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. You just keep hustling. Okay. Love you all. I'm back, slowly coming back. I'll be up here Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern for What's in the Cards Wednesday. In the morning at 8 a.m. will be the card image to feel into those cards. And again, another opportunity to slow down, connect, get into your embodiment and then select your cards. I'm always encouraging you to pause, take a moment, ground, choose cards from the space of, okay, this is my alignment. This is how I want to feel. This is what I want to know today. Not from a place of exhaustion, from a place of who you truly are, filled up. All right. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if this resonates for you. All right. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday or Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.